It is an ever-changing world. Organisms have to adapt to the changing climate, to the fast-paced technology, the changing of environments, and even the landscape. It was always a game of adaptation and adjustments to all the organisms of this planet. But some things need to stay the same. There are factors and mechanisms that need to stay stable and constant, like bodily processes, pH levels, temperature, your blood chemistry, hormones, and even your biological composition. They need to stay constant, consistent, sane, and stable. Our bodies need to balance things intricately in the midst of the ever-changing environment. What are the things that our bodies need to keep in check, and what are the processes involved in balancing our internal factors? Welcome to Earth and Life Science Rewind, Homeostasis, Types and Components. Greetings, senior high school students. I am teacher Gian, and welcome to Earth and Life Science Rewind, video reviewers for Earth and Life Science. We will study how the body balances all the factors in order to maintain its stability through homeostasis, its types, and its components. Our objective for today is to describe the process of homeostasis and enumerate the components of the homeostatic system. There are some factors in our environment and bodies that need to be kept in a particular amount. Things like temperature, our body chemistry, the moisture, nutrition that we have, blood pressure, and even our blood chemistry. Our body maintains its internal balance by adjusting these values, these physiological values. Being in balance of many things is the condition of optimal functioning. The very best that we can ever be, the best condition for a human being includes many variables such as body temperature, fluid balance, and etc. And maintaining this balance, homeostasis is the tendency of our body to maintain its internal stability in order to adjust and survive in its environment. It is true, organisms change themselves and adapt to their environment, but they also have to maintain sense of balance internally. To achieve homeostasis, the body adapts two types of feedback mechanisms to balance internal factors: positive and negative feedback. Positive feedback induces change, makes you change yourself by intensifying the factors in the body's physiological conditions. Like hormones, they add up hormones. They make you grow your hair. They make you vomit. Induces change. Negative feedback prevents change by counteracting the instability in the body's physical condition. Too much food, store it into fat. Is the temperature too hot? You sweat yourself. Too cold? You shiver and eat something. Negative feedback prevents change. And positive and negative feedback usually happen in three parts or components. The receptor accepts the information. Sense organs, the temperature receptors, accept the information that something is changing. The control center, usually is the nervous system or the glands, sends signals to the effector, then responds to the signals and acts to bring about the changes necessary to balance internal factors. They activate something in order to counteract these stimuli. Let's discuss negative feedback. It prevents change by counteracting the instability in the body's physiological condition. Examples of these are: if the factor for temperature is too high, the body counteracts it by sweating. If you have too much sugar in your blood, our body secretes hormones in order to balance it and to convert it into fat. So negative feedback is counteracting change. How about studying the negative feedback loop and its components? Stimulus is the heat. The heat increases our body temperature, and the thermoreceptors in our skin receive that kind of stimuli, the heat, and transfer the information to our control center. For example, the brain. The brain sends signals and activate the effectors, which are the sweat glands in your skin, induce sweating and reduce the body temperature. Let's talk about the regulation of blood sugar through a negative feedback loop. The stimulus would be a high blood sugar within our blood and blood vessels and liver. It stimulates the receptors, which are the glucagon receptors within our blood vessels and even the liver. And when they receive the stimuli, they transfer the information to our brain, which activates the pancreas to release insulin and convert blood sugar to fat. So how about positive feedback? Positive feedback induces change by intensifying the factors in the body's physiological condition. Makes you grow, makes you change more, and makes you add up something. Examples would be childbirth and the clotting of blood. So let's study the feedback loop within childbirth. The stimulus would be when the water sac breaks due to the size of the baby and it pushes the cervix. So the cervix will then receive the stimuli and transfer the nerve impulses to our control center or the brain. And the brain sends signals to the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland will then release oxytocin. Oxytocin is a stressor causing the uterus to contract and release the baby. So it's a feedback loop until the baby is being given birth. So how about blood clotting? Stimulus happens as there is a wound, a break, or a tear that occurs in the blood vessels. Next would be the receptor, which are the platelets. The platelets receive that stimuli that something is wrong, that there is an injury within the blood vessels, and they cling to the site, releasing ADP or adenosine diphosphate, prompting other control center platelets again to do the same. So they cling together to block the site of the injury, and the effector, which are the platelets again, form in numbers, block the wound. They form a clot after that. There are lots of examples for negative feedback that I can give. Slowing down metabolism when hungry, releasing salts in our urine, and even the fluids when there is too much to balance pH and our blood chemistry. Other examples for positive feedback would be hormones that our bodies release during puberty to help you grow and develop. Pregnancy enables females to milk production, so they give an additional hormone for that. Adding up, it's a positive feedback. Releasing of estrogen or follicle stimulating hormone to induce fertility. Notice that the positive feedback adds up the hormones that you have. Deviation from homeostasis could eventually lead to effects harmful to your biological systems. It may lead to situations that your body cannot handle anymore, and it can result to your sickness, complications, and even death. Maintaining a healthy balance of nutrition, healthy stress, mental health, moderation in all aspects of your life, even moderation itself, is the key to a fulfilled life, even biologically. So let us summarize our lesson for today. Homeostasis is the tendency to maintain internal stability in order to adjust and survive in its environment. To achieve homeostasis from stimuli, there are two feedback loops activated that have three parts: the receptor, control center, and effectors. One example of feedback loop, positive feedback, induces change by intensifying the factors in the body's physiological condition. Negative feedback is the counterpart, which prevents change by counteracting the instability in our body's physiological condition. So let's test your knowledge. You can try to pause this video and answer this short quiz. After 5 seconds, the answers will be revealed. So you can pause your video now. Video resumes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there you have it. These are the answers for your Test Your Knowledge portion. Thank you for watching another episode of Earth and Life Science Rewind, video reviewers for Earth and Life Science, regarding the homeostasis types and components. I am Teacher Gian, and I hope to see you next time on our next video reviewer. See you next time, and study smart.